Are you stuck in the same role or aiming for a fast promotion? I'll walk you through the exact steps I use to level up or get promoted every year. No luck, no politics, just strategy and consistency. These are 6 building blocks that build on each other. Skip one and it slows you down. So stay with me until the very end. The last one sounds obvious but most people miss or get it wrong. Quick background. I joined my company as a new software engineer, but I set a clear goal. I wanted to become a principal engineer as soon as possible. To get there, I had to go through multiple levels. From level 1 to 3, then senior levels 1 to 3, then principal, with only one promotion cycle per year. I got into level 2 the first year, skipped level 3, then promoted straight to senior, then level 2, and then became principal engineer, all in the shortest time possible. And in this video, I'm sharing exactly what I did to make that happen. Let's dive in. First, mastery of role. Let's start with something that might seem obvious. You need to be really good at your primary responsibilities. You cannot get promoted if everyone else around you is outperforming you at the core tasks you were hired for. But here's where a lot of people get stuck. How do you stand out if everyone else is already experienced and skilled? Here's the trick that worked for me. Master a component, a smaller piece of the picture. Focus on a specific system, feature, or workflow that your team uses and become the go-to person for that area. You will still need to learn the full picture of your team's work, but by going deeper in one slice, you create a unique edge. With that focus, you're not just doing your job. You're becoming indispensable. Your team knows that when you take on something, it gets done well and often ahead of schedule without sacrificing quality. In my case, I focus on improving the performance of a specific program that had been running painfully slow for over a decade. No one had been able to fix it. It used to take 3 days to run for a customer. I spent a year working on it and eventually brought it down to just 1 hour. That became my area of mastery and it made a huge impact. And this strategy isn't just for tech roles. For you, it could be a project no one wants to take on, but that could deliver major value to a client. A recurring process in your team that needs streamlining, or exploring how Gen AI tools can improve workflows, and positioning yourself as a Gen AI champion in your group. Whatever it is, pick something valuable, make it your focus, and become the go-to person for it. That's how you stand out, even in a team of high performers. Next, business understanding. Now, being skilled is not enough if you're focused on the wrong tasks. You need to go beyond the basic company background and role description. To really grow, you need to dig deeper and understand how your company makes money. Ask yourself, what are the actual revenue generating activities? How does my team or department contribute to that? Which parts of my job have a direct impact on that and which don't? You might have heard of the Pareto principle. 80% of results come from 20% of the effort. It applies here too. Focus more on the 20% of your work that drives the biggest impact. And when you're pressed for time, always prioritize the tasks that support revenue-driving activities. But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying ignore everything else, especially if you're new. You still need to meet expectations. The key is to shift more of your energy toward the work that matters more to the business. When I started as a new employee, I quickly found out that most of the revenues of the company are from maintenance of the software that we are selling. I quickly understood how crucial it was when customers report issues, so I focus on quickly resolving them. If you're unsure which tasks mattered most, talk to your supervisor. Ask how your role fits into the bigger picture. Most managers will appreciate that you're asking. Next, know your products and services. Now that you understand how the business works, you also need to know what products and services it sells, inside and out. What makes your product different from competitors? What are its key features or promises to customers? What does your company's service promise, and how is it better than others? For example, if your company promotes ease of use, then your work should support that by simplifying workflows, improving interfaces, or removing friction. If fast customer response is a selling point, build your system to not just meet service level goals like responding in an hour, but maybe half that time. When you know the unique value your company offers, you can align your work to reinforce that value. That increases customer satisfaction and builds internal trust. Next, visibility and trust. Have you ever worked hard on something but no one noticed because you didn't shout about it? Let's face it, If no one sees the great work you're doing, it won't help your career. You might be skilled and delivering high quality results, but if your manager or teammates aren't aware of your contributions, you won't be considered when growth opportunities come up. And if you're an introvert like me, this might feel uncomfortable. But here's the good news. You don't need to be loud to be visible. In fact, it's better not to promote yourself by talking. Instead, show the value of your work. Here are a few ways to build visibility. First, be responsive to emails and messages, whether internal or external. Provide value when people are stuck. Your helpfulness will be remembered. Document your work, especially customer issues or unusual problems you resolve. If your company uses a ticketing or tracking system, write down your process and resolution clearly. Contribute to internal knowledge. Update wiki pages or knowledge-based articles. These tools usually show the author, which makes you visible and shows you're a team player. On our team, we were already required to provide regular status updates on our ticketing system, but I took it a step further by providing more details on exactly what I did, what I was able to investigate, and what are my next steps. Being consistently helpful and visible builds trust, and people start relying on you more. Next, network and relationships. You have probably heard that networking matters. It's true, and not just outside the company. Inside your organization, the connections you build matter a lot. You might be thinking, but I am not outgoing. How do I build connections without forcing it? Let's talk about that. Don't worry, you don't need to be an extrovert or the center of attention. You just need to be supportive and helpful. If a teammate is struggling, offer to help. If someone from another team needs something your team provides, step in. If your tasks are done and someone else is overloaded, ask if you can lighten the load. By helping others, you build good relationships and you get to learn how other teams work too. This strengthens your business understanding and makes it easier to collaborate across the company. And when the time comes that you need help or cross-functional support, you'll already have built that goodwill. These relationships become your career safety net and sometimes your growth catalysts. Before I get to the last building block, if you like this content, please feel free to like this video and subscribe for more contents like this. Thank you. Last, advocacy and initiative. And now we come to the most important but often skipped building blocks, asking for it. Tell your manager where you want to go. Bring it up during a one-on-one or a performance review. Say something like, I'm working toward a senior role and I love to know what I should focus on to prepare for it. Maybe you're worried that asking for a promotion will make you look too ambitious. It won't. Just by saying this, you're doing two things. Making your goals visible, so your manager knows what you're aiming for. Creating opportunities, so you can be given stretch tasks that help you grow into the role. For example, when I made my goals known, I got assigned a project to lead. It was the perfect way to develop leadership skills and show I was ready. Also, look at the people already in the role you want. What skills or behaviors do they have that you don't yet? What kind of conversations do they lead? How do they carry themselves? And can you offer to help them, even with small tasks, to start learning by doing? And now, I have a bonus tip for new hires. If you're still in your probationary period or just starting out, here's a tip. Exceed expectations early. If you're given goals to hit in 3 months, try to hit them in 2 and do it well. You'll stand out right away and leave a strong, lasting impression. To recap, these 6 building blocks are not isolated. They build on each other. Mastery makes you reliable. Business understanding makes you strategic. Product knowledge makes your output customer focused. Visibility and relationships make sure others see your value. Advocacy turns potential into opportunity. And the more you work on one, the more it supports the others. If you stay consistent, show initiative, and build trust, you won't have to wait for promotions. They will start coming to you. Let me know in the comments, which of these 6 are you working on right now? And if this helps you, share it with someone who's ready to level up their career too. You've got this.